Our speaker is Willie Van Peer, an emeritus professor of literature and intercultural psychology at the Ludwig Maximilian University in Munich, Germany. He presents his talk on the topic, There is No Happy Love. Willie Van Peer is an emeritus professor of literature and intercultural psychology at the Ludwig Maximilian University in Munich, Germany. His interests span the psycholinguistics of literature to the epistemological foundations of research in the humanities. His most recent book, together with Anna Chesnokova, is Experiencing Poetry, a guidebook to psychopoetics. He is also the founding general editor of the journal Scientific Study of Literature. Today, he will give a talk on the topic, There is No Happy Love.
I'd like to invite you to start with, ladies and gentlemen, to listen to a poem by this man, whom you may not know. He is Louis Aragon, a rather famous, albeit obscure French poet, who died in 1982, so you get some kind of time framework. The song that I invite you to listen to is called, in French, Il n'y a pas d'amour heureux. There's no happy love. And that's at the same time the title of my presentation. The poem is rather obscure and not very well known until this man, Georges Brassens, who was a contemporary of Aragon, put it to music and performed it several times. It was recorded, etc. If you don't know Georges Brassens, go to the internet and you'll find scores of songs by him, like Brave Margot, La Mauvaise Réputation, etc. On YouTube. Originally, I had planned to invite my friend Jo Vermeulen, who's a specialist in Brassens and performs him regularly, to come to the conference and entertain us with other Brassens songs, all about love, of course, but he couldn't. His time schedule was so full. So we made a recording, which I now invite you to listen to. I put English subtitles to them. So let's first listen to Il n'y a pas d'amour heureux.
Rien n'est jamais acquis à l'homme, ni sa force, ni sa faiblesse, ni son cœur. Et quand il croit ouvrir ses bras, son ombre est celle d'une croix. Et quand il veut serrer son bonheur, il broie. Sa vie est un étrange et douloureux divorce. Il n'y a pas d'amour heureux. Sa vie, elle ressemble à ces soldats sans armes qu'on avait habillés pour un autre destin. À quoi peut leur servir de se lever matin? Eux qu'on retrouve au soir des armées incertains, dites ces mots ma vie et retenez vos larmes. Il n'y a pas d'amour heureux. Mon bel amour, mon cher amour, ma déchirure, je te porte dans moi comme un oiseau blessé, et cela sans savoir nous regarde passer, répétant après moi ces mots que j'ai tressés et qui pour tes grands yeux tout aussitôt moururent. Il n'y a pas d'amour heureux. Le temps d'apprendre à vivre, il est déjà trop tard. Que pleurent dans la nuit nos cœurs à l'unisson. Ce qu'il faut de regret pour frapper un frisson. Ce qu'il faut de malheur pour la moindre chanson. Ce qu'il faut de sanglots pour un air de guitare. Il n'y a pas
Well, how's that? No happy love? And isn't that what all people are actually striving for? Happiness? And don't we all believe that happiness is coming with love? I use the term in a very everyday sense here, a pleasant, positive, emotional state characterized by feelings of joy, satisfaction, contentment. Brassens says, no, there's no such thing. It is what you strive for, and maybe you think love will bring it, but as is usual in great art, what the artist does is turn our everyday expectations upside down and denies them and make us pause and stand still and reflect on what we believe. This is, I think, one of the important functions of art, and one of the important reasons why in studying love we should look at art, music, opera, literature. So why then is there love if not for happiness? The answer is, in my opinion, very, very simple. The function of love is to love. Nothing more, nothing less. Happiness, in my mind, is ego-centered. It is me who want to be happy. And the conditions for my happiness are spelled out by me. But love is not ego-centered, it's other-centered. It is him or her that I have to make happy, without conditions. When love is conditional, it's not love, it's a contract. It's what people nowadays call a relationship. Sounds like a contract, but unconditional love is not for the weak. That's why there is so little of it. In the world of David Schnarch, the late David Schnarch, he died a couple of years ago, one of the most profound thinkers of love, I quote from his 1991 book, "There are too few individuals capable of intense eroticism and intimacy to affect social conventions in a meaningful way. Conventional cultural norms support utilitarian levels of sexual intensity." This then is what Brassens and the poet Aragon meant. Mon bel amour, ma chère amour, love is a wound, ma déchirure. Can you be happy when you are wounded? And I carry you within me like a wounded bird, comme un oiseau blessé. That doesn't sound happy. True, many people in surveys say that they are happy in their relationships, in their contracts. Satisfied, maybe. But is that really what we desire? Is that our deepest complete fulfillment? Well, this unconditional love involves challenge and fear. And thus many of us renounce it and allow ourselves to be content with a utilitarian relationship. So I concluded from this, let us not deceive ourselves by taking the current ubiquity of happy couples for granted. This is precisely the reason why the whole industry of romance stories, romance love stories in print, in movies, in Hollywood, etc., are based on. It's $1 billion annual industry because we turn to it because we are not fulfilled in our own relationship. That's at least what Anna Chesnakova and I argue for in the International Handbook. Instead of loving unconditionally. But is such love possible? Well, yes, but the precondition is that we abandon our pursuit of happiness and just love. do everything in our power to realize and augment the happiness of our beloved. I'm looking at this portrait of man, 13th century. He could be an example of such love. Dante Alighieri died 700 years ago. At age 9, he falls in love with Beatrice Portinari. She dies when she is 25. He's never seen her again, but he keeps loving her. We talked about love and the condition of touching each other. Can you touch a beloved who is no longer there, is no longer alive? Well, in the third volume of his monumental Divina Commedia, he meets her again in heaven. She acts as his guide through heaven. You would expect after 37 years of separation, some tenderness, a kiss, for instance. But no, she scolds him because of his earthly desires. We're in heaven, don't forget, Mr. Dante. But then again, Dante is not out of sorts, but describes her eyes. E gli occhi avea di letizia si pieni, che passar men convien senza costrutto. He's still in love, although she scolds him. I cannot express the beauty of your eyes in words. Maybe, a hypothesis, maybe this is happy love. And then he addresses her for the first and for the last time in the whole of the Divine Comedy, 15,000 verse lines, by the humble words, "O Beatrice, dolce guida e cara, my dear and sweet guide." Because it is love that turns the universe, as he confesses in the very last lines of the Paradiso. L'amor che muove il sole e l'altre stelle. It is love that moves the sun and all the other stars. Thank you.